lead. She's already joined the family business, but what does Hillary Clinton's bigger role in the newly named Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation mean for her possible political ambitions? According to the New York Times, potentially a lot. The paper is reporting that the former Secretary of State and her staff are moving into the foundation's headquarters in Manhattan, that the sprawling philanthropic organization known for its noble ambitions, powerful corporate connections, and roller coaster finances, quote, will become the nerve center of Hillary Rodham Clinton's increasingly public life. The foundation could also serve as a base for her to hone in on issues and to build up a stable of trusted staff who could form the core of a political campaign, unquote. But the Times and also the Politico, which broke the story originally, raised many questions about how efficiently the foundation is being run, and several ethical concerns. Here to talk about all of it, former advisor to Hillary Clinton's 2008 run, Tracy Seffel, former CEO of Hewlett-Packard and former senior economic advisor to Senator John McCain, Carly Fiorina, and White House correspondent for Yahoo News, Olivier Knox. So, Tracy, the paper lays it out this way. Quote, for all of its successes, the Clinton Foundation had become a sprawling concern supervised by a rotating board of old Clinton hands, vulnerable to distraction and threatened by conflicts of interest. It ran multi-million-dollar deficits for several years despite vast amounts of money flowing in. This has got to be a concern for the Clintons, that there are these fairly negative stories in the Times and Politico about the foundation that Secretary Clinton is now becoming part of.
Well, with the renaming of the foundation and the other changes that are taking place, it's a positive sign for what happens moving forward. That's really what...
So she's not associated necessarily with the chaos of the past.
I think when you look at what the foundation's doing, they have 5 major program areas, 8 massive initiatives. They're working all over the world with several hundred people on staff. It's important that any organization like that be carefully audited, be closely governed, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. I commend them for taking those steps.
Carly, surely there are potential problems here, for Secretary Clinton if she chooses to run.
Sure, there are, but I think on balance it's certainly been a positive thing for President Clinton. Obviously, there are some management issues there that are going to have to be dealt with, but the Clinton work around the world.
Amazing work. Of course.
I do think the vulnerabilities will be with the corporate partnerships, sadly. Corporations are doing great work with CGI, but I think she may get asked about some of those relationships as she goes forward.
And what exactly would those questions be to a pesky reporter with Yahoo who just happens to be covering her on the campaign trail and wants to know about these corporate partnerships and her work with the Clinton Global Initiative?
Sure. Where does the foundation end and the back and forth trading of influence begin? It seems like to me like they're cleaning house, definitely. Now, are they cleaning house to burnish Bill Clinton's reputation and legacy, or are they creating a kind of ideas lab for a possible Hillary Clinton 2016 run? I think it's a little bit early to say, but it certainly looks like they're cleaning house completely.
And we should note, as has been noted by Carly, the Clinton Global Initiative and the Clinton Foundation do lots of amazing work in terms of trying to help with the health of people around the globe, and we don't mean to take away from that, and that their altruistic work.
They're also going to be moving into new offices in the Time Life building. That means hundreds of journalists will be there, too. So
lucky them. I want to go on to another topic. Newt Gingrich, who's our co-host for CNN's Crossfire, which is relaunching next month, he chided his own party today, telling RNC Chairman Reince Priebus at a meeting in Boston, quote, we have to get beyond being anti-Obama, and we have to reconvince people that you can have hope in America. He also did not rule out a 2016 bid for the White House. Carly, is he right? Does the GOP need to bring more ideas to the table? The criticism from Gingrich and others, it's too much anti-Obama and not enough. Here's our proposal for health care.
Well, first, I would say that this is not exactly a new point that Newt is making. Secondly, I also have publicly said that, for example, the Republicans have missed an opportunity to provide an alternative to Obamacare instead of just saying we want to repeal it. But I do think that one of the vulnerabilities that Newt has is he tends to major on being the skunk at the picnic, and so one would wonder why he hasn't perhaps proposed an alternative to Obamacare. He's had a lot of time to do it.
Tracy?
Well, the comparison that I was thinking about is a few years into the George W. Bush administration, Democrats and other like-minded people founded the Center for American Progress, a place to incubate ideas and policy solutions and action. What are the Republicans doing besides giving speeches and writing books?
Olivier, why aren't the Republicans coming forward with alternative health care plans the way that Gingrich and others propose, and Ms. Fiorina propose?
Well, first of all, I think this is the advice of a man who won the speakership after the 1994 elections when the Republicans had the contract with America, and a person who lost the speakership in '98 when the Republicans basically were the let's impeach Clinton party. So I think that's the personal background here is very important. Republicans will tell you that they absolutely have been proposing counterproposals throughout the debate over Obamacare. They get very testy when you say, look, you guys are all about talking about death panels and not about proposing your own thing. But that effort has lagged a little bit recently, and the party, especially in the House, has moved much more to a repeal without the replace.
Of course, there has been legislation here and there. But is there one cohesive health care bill that Republicans in the House, forget the Senate, the Republicans in the House are behind?
There's one embryonic bill that basically keeps all the good stuff from Obamacare and jettisons all the slightly controversial stuff. But it's not really clear that has a future either, in part because of the Democratic Senate.
All right, Carlise, Tracy, and Olivier,